Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to give you some travel tips and tricks and some must-have items. I always encourage people to explore the world around them. So as a frequent traveler, I wanted to share some of the items that I have with me at all times, and these are lifesavers and, in my opinion, are must-haves. And of course, these are just in my experience, and I always encourage you to do research before you go. Some of these may or may not be right for you, but these are what have made my life so much easier when I'm traveling. First, I'm going to talk about my very first tip, and that is before you even get on the plane or before you even go anywhere, and that is entertainment. So a lot of streaming services, depending on your level of service, so Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, they all allow you to download your favorite movies and TV shows. And I definitely recommend doing this before you leave. A lot of times airlines will have apps that allow you to stream entertainment. These aren't always available, and I've been on many a flight where the Wi-Fi hasn't been working or hasn't been working the way that I want it to. So I definitely recommend going on there and looking for downloading some entertainment before your flight. This is particularly helpful for those who maybe are nervous flyers. Having something that you can distract you, having something you enjoy or familiar with can kind of take your mind off of that, and also can make the flight seem a lot quicker. It goes by a little bit faster. Next, I'm going to talk about my first must-have item, and this is at the top of my list. This is definitely a must-have, and that is power, in the form of a power bank. And I carry this with me even when I'm not traveling by plane. If I'm driving somewhere kind of in my daily life, this is a great thing to have on hand. I will do my best to try to link this in the description. This is the one that I prefer, but you can find a lot of these online. These are really affordable, maybe $20, $30, and they can really go a long way. You're not tethered to your cord in one spot in the airport. It will go with you wherever you need to go. So they're very lightweight, streamlined. You can put this in your pocket. You can throw it in your purse, in your suitcase, to have with you wherever you go. This one is nice. Not only is it nice and slim and lightweight, it's got a power button here on the front, and a visual to tell me how much power I have. It's also great because there's a variety of different ports for different types of charging methods. So you've got your USB, if you want to charge the bank itself, or different type of devices might require different types of cords and different types of charging methods. So these power banks are really essential to have. A lot of times if you're traveling on an airplane, they might have power outlets on some of the seats, but a lot of times they don't have them at all. And if they do, you're sometimes fighting for it with the person next to you. Airports, the power outlets, you can find these along the way, but sometimes they are few and far between. A lot of times they're already occupied. So again, you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to fight somebody for these. You have this with you, and this will go wherever you are. For my next must-have item, this is a must-have item, but also kind of a hack, a tip or a trick, and that is hydration. That is water. Making sure that you always have water with you for several reasons. The first is that if you're traveling by airplane air can be a lot drier, and you definitely need to be drinking more water. And this is something I am terrible at. I always forget to drink water as I go. Bringing your own water bottle allows you to have it with you at all times. It's also a huge money saver. So having to buy water in the airport can be really expensive. So this is available to you for free. The one caveat here is to make sure that your water bottle is empty when you get to the airport. Bring an empty water bottle through security. Should not be a problem. If it's full, make sure you empty it out. And you can bring it through security as long as it is empty. I do prefer the water bottles that have the nice secure screw cap rather than the ones that have the straw. These are just less likely to leak all over your suitcase, as we know this is going to get knocked around if you have it in your suitcase. Refilling these are super, super easy as well. Throughout most airports, or if not all airports, you're gonna find water filling stations specifically for your water bottle. So you can look around for these. If you find one and really easy, you can just fill up your water bottle right then and there. I like the insulated water bottles. If I ever need ice, I can go to a Starbucks. I can ask them to fill it with ice, or if I'm in a hotel, I can just fill it with ice, fill it with water, and I have that water with me at all times, and I don't need to worry about finding someplace to buy water. So my next must-have item is really similar to this, or goes along the lines with this, and that is hydration. I like to carry around these hydration packs. This one, Gatorade Zero, happens to be my favorite. These come in different flavors. These are really easy to carry along with me. There's no problem bringing these in your purse, making sure that you are staying hydrated. I need to have this. I'm notoriously not good at hydrating throughout the day anyway, let alone when I'm traveling. So these are really easy to just open up, put into your water bottle, shake it up. And these you can find in a lot of different places. So you can find these on Amazon, your local convenience store. I know Costco has a lot of great options as well. You just throw them in your purse and you have them with you whenever you need them. And the next item I'm gonna talk about is definitely a nice to have item, but for me, it is a must have. And it's a must have for my luggage to keep everything nice and organized, and that is packing cubes. These are really great to keep everything organized, especially your smaller items. So like your socks and your shirts, those things can definitely fall to the bottom of your suitcase. Sometimes if I am traveling, my husband and I are traveling just for a couple days or for the weekend, he might put all of his stuff in here, and then it keeps it organized. He can just pull it and he can segregate it, so it makes it really easy. It can just be thrown in your suitcase. They come in a variety of different sizes. So some kits come with packing cubes that are different sizes. So they have a smaller one for your toiletries, one you can put pants, one you can put shirts. Really easy to keep everything together. So this is definitely a recommended item for me. A must have for packing. My next item is a travel dock kit, or a travel kit. And this is definitely more so a must have for international flights or for long flights. Inside, there's just items you might need. So some items that you might find in here, I always have either a Tide stick or a wipe, just in case I spill something, in case I need to go to a meeting and I need to make sure I don't have anything on me. Make sure just in case you do spill anything, you have that ready to go. Chapstick, sanitizing wipes are also always important. Also portable toothbrushes and toothpaste. So these items, again, you can buy these anywhere. You can buy these on Amazon. You can buy these at your local convenience store, especially for those long haul or international flights. You want to be able to feel refreshed when you get wherever you need to go. And it's also always a great backup in case you forget your toothbrush, right? You've got one right here and you can just throw it away after you use it. Also, small lotions. These are always another item that I always have on me. Small lotion, small hand sanitizer. These are perfect to bring with you. Just make sure they are under 3 ounces. And again, make sure you go online before you travel to make sure that you are aware of what you can bring and how you can pack that in your suitcase. Next, and this is for when you get to wherever you're going. So if you are renting a car, this is an important thing to have. So something that hooks on in the car to hook up your phone. A lot of times rental cars or cars that you're driving have an outlet for your cord or for your phone. But again, you always want to make sure you have a backup. Technology can be great, but sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. So this one is this one's for if you have a pop socket. It just clips onto the vent in the car. Or they have several online that can hook up to dashboard. So definitely recommend having something. Another item that I want to talk about, this might not be a must-have item, and I might do a deeper dive on this in a later video, but that is airline credit cards or travel credit cards. So if you're thinking about taking a big trip somewhere, or you're thinking about, you want opportunities to travel, you're thinking about traveling, These can sometimes be a really, really nice thing. The caveat with some of them is they do have, and there's different levels of credit cards. One advantage or one pro to having these airline credit cards is a lot of them have an introductory offer. So if you spend a certain amount of money in a certain time, so if you're using these for your daily bills, or if you're booking a big trip, like you're booking an airline ticket, they offer you bonus miles. So that's really great. Again, if you are planning a big trip, you have a huge chunk of miles that you've earned that you can use, and you can get maybe a free flight or a flight at a discounted price because you're using these miles that you've earned. Another advantage of having these credit cards, depending on the level of credit card or the co-brand of the credit card, is that some of them come with free baggage, free check bags with your ticket, which is always a nice thing to have, especially if you're traveling with multiple people and for a long period of time. And a lot of them also allow you to board in those early boarding groups, which gives you early access to your seat. You get on the plane early, and you also get early access to those overhead bins, which is really important. So sometimes you can board in the first or second boarding groups. That is another advantage of having one of these credit cards. Depending on the airline, depending on which kind of level you have, this can also earn you miles if you're using this for your everyday purchases. So sometimes you'll earn airline miles if you book flights on that particular airline. You'll earn a little bit faster if you eat out at restaurants a lot, and just kind of your daily purchases. Those miles will really add up. Some of the cons about some of these credit cards is the fees. So most, if not all, have an annual fee, and these are going to range anywhere from around $90 to $100 to upwards of $500-$600. So if you feel that you're comfortable with that, and sometimes there's a cost benefit analysis. So if you are earning enough miles to save yourself to use your miles on, let's say, a flight that's $600-$700, that is definitely worth it for that annual fee. And another con of these credit cards is that they come with a really hefty interest rate. So a lot of these do have that introductory 0% interest, but one of those cons, or the cost of the credit card is going to be that high interest rate, more so than other credit cards. So they are a really nice thing to have, and they are a really nice way to make sure that you are earning miles on a particular airline, make sure that you are loyal to an airline, and sometimes these can be really, really a nice thing to have. Next, I'm going to talk more about more tips and tricks and things to do and remember before your trip or before you get on a plane. And first, that is to make sure that you are downloading any of the apps for the airline that you will be flying. These are really, really helpful. You have everything at your fingertips. If you need any up-to-date information, if you need to make any changes to your travel plans or your flight, it's really easy to do and to have on hand. Also, most of these apps for airlines, or most of these apps, will allow you to look at the maps for a lot of these major airports that you will be flying into. So you really want to make sure you know before you go. You can map out your layovers, if you are changing planes, and maybe you're needing to get from one side of the airport to the other. You can map out how long it's going to take. And a lot of times they will provide interactive maps that will allow you to see where restaurants are. You can see where the bathroom is. You can see where these water filling stations or charging stations are. And I always recommend before you go anywhere, if you're traveling through one airport, through two airports, make sure that you check out the maps ahead of time. And again, this is going to give you really, really great information on where to get around. If you have a layover, and you're a little bit pressed for time, this can be great to map it out. So sometimes this next flight is going to be really close by, right? Next terminal, sometimes it's going to be pretty far. So you always want to be prepared. You always want to make sure that you have all the information. And remember that you should always make sure that you're up to date with all of the regulations. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hopefully this inspires you to get out there and see this big world, whether it is close to home or far away. If you are interested in more of this, like and subscribe. Comment below if I missed something or if you'd like to see more information on something else in particular. And I will see you next time.